message for the ladies and gentlemen around the world and all the ships at sea.
We all make choices, but in the end, our choices make us.
So choose wisely. Subscribe to It's Erik Nagel wherever shows are found, on whatever platform you choose. And as always, leave us a positive review. Would you kindly? It's Erik Nagel. And it starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear.
It's Erik Nagel.
Hello and welcome to another edition of It's Erik Nagel. That is me. Over in the Upside Down, maybe not. At some point we'll have Giddles. He's having some technical issues connecting to us this week. Trevor is also here.
What up?
And joining us, we teased it with a non-related photo today on social media. Our special guest, returning to the program, Matt O.G.
Howdy, fellas.
How have you been, sir? We've missed you.
Oh, you know, I'm a busy man, Mr. Nagel. I'm a busy man.
It felt like, you know, when your dad says he's going out for cigarettes and then doesn't come back, but then he comes back. Right in time for the holidays. It's like a feel-good holiday special.
Yeah, I came back with a bunch of Christmas presents that I bought at the gas station.
Oh, yay. Free T-shirts that come in the actual carton of the cigarettes.
Right. And I plan to promptly leave as soon as you guys turn away.
All right.
Never say goodbye.
And returning, he showed up over in the Upside Down. Giddles is here. Hi, Giddles.
Hey, what's up, everyone? If you can hear me, if this is working.
Giddles is on assignment, like Trevor said last week. He's at a remote location and he's having some difficulty. So he'll be with us as long as he'll be with us as long as he possibly can. Let's go over and say hi to Matt. We haven't talked to Matt in a while since he's gone on to greener pastures there. Matt O.G., how have you been? What have you been up to?
I don't know that I've gone on to greener pastures, just so much that I've just gone on to pastures. I feel like I've been put out to pasture. No, I've been good. You know, I had a lot going on in life. I have a lot going on in life. I had to refocus on some other things, and I wanted to do some other things, and my time is scant these days.
Precious.
And but I've been good, thank you. I've been, you know, still doing geek stuff every week, still going strong. You know, I'm still a big freaking nerd, crafting when I can, and I'm trying to stream a little bit on Twitch, and I don't know, I'm trying new things. I'm branching out.
You started a new venture on Twitch here. I was watching your social media. I haven't got a chance to see the Twitch feed, but I did follow, and I didn't know what the hell you were doing. Like, I just see you building like mountain scenery and snow tops, and then like some kind of like tiki hut, or I didn't know what you were doing. So I reached out to you and I said, what are you doing? And then when you explained it, this is kind of amazing, the patience and the time and the skill to do all of this stuff. Explain to everybody what you're going to see on your new Twitch channel.
So one of the things that I'll be doing over there, I'm going to be doing a bunch of different things, but one of the things I'm doing over there is at least once every week or once every other week, I'll be crafting. I've been making D&D terrain or gaming terrain. I've been doing this for years, and I had stopped for a while. And while exploring content for Patreon, one of the things that our patrons had asked was they wanted to see more of the process that goes into making those pieces. But I just didn't have a really good way to capture them on video for Patreon. So when I was thinking about launching Twitch, I thought, well, this is a good segment for me to do on Twitch. So I figured out how to do Twitch pretty much overnight. I set up a couple of things. I figured out how to get the cameras working. I turned on the cameras. I set up my table with all my crafting supplies, and I started making some snow terrain.
And you do a 2-camera shoot, right? It's one on you and then one overhead looking down on the...
Yeah, so it's one on me and then it's one on the table, so that you can actually see as I paint or sculpt or do whatever it is that I'm doing with whatever I'm creating. I carve most of this stuff by hand out of pink XPS insulation foam.
Okay.
And then, you sculpt it, you paint it, you do whatever you do to it, and hopefully at the end of the day, you end up with something that looks cool.
Now, I was seeing some of the stuff that you did. We talked the other night, and I was like, wow, this is impressive. And you're saying, nah, not really. I've been seeing some instructional videos or people who do this, I guess, professionally. he's like, I'm nowhere near that. Anytime you start out somewhere, you're nowhere near the top people who do this. But look, I know nothing about it, and I just happened to see, and you told me exactly what it was, and I was impressed by it. So you're already off to a great start.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm okay. I'm pretty happy with where I am, but I see some of the things that people make, and it's a level of insanity. I mean, for me, it just has to be functional. It has to make gameplay more interesting. Giddles can attest to it if he can still hear us. He's playing in one of my D&D games. It has to make gameplay interesting and fun, and if it looks pretty cool along the way, then it's a bonus.
Well, that's great. Give out the plug since we've been talking about it, so people can go and find it.
Go to twitch.tv/geekstuffog. You will see crafting videos. You'll see reviews, unboxing, all sorts of stuff, different things. I'm going to be doing stuff with my son, I think, in the near future. So yeah, it's lots of stuff happening over there.
Is this part of what you're doing with Geek Stuff? Is this a completely separate adventure? Like what's going on here with this?
Everything's all related in one way, shape, or form. I guess everything that I do is linked by me, right? So, I mean, it's not Geek Stuff. It's not replacing Geek Stuff. I guess it's an addendum to Geek Stuff, maybe. I don't know.
As long as it's not a conundrum.
It is not oh, no. No, it is not a conundrum. No, it is not that.
That is an old school reference, my friend. Moving on. Trevor, how you been?
I'm doing just fine and dandy. I have one more shift left at work, and then it's the winter break, and I can't wait to sit around and be miserable seeing family.
You sound so thrilled.
No, you know what it is? I am 100% already burnt out on Christmas and the holiday season because everything was so early this year, and as much as everything was so early, because my family is finally starting to stray from all the places we live. Like, everyone used to live 10 minutes away. My brother's moving. My sister moved to North Carolina. My grandparents turned into snowbirds. And basically, getting together is a much bigger deal. So, like, Sunday we're celebrating my grandfather's birthday. All the family's getting together. And then the next day is Christmas Eve. We're all getting together again. The exact same people to celebrate Christmas Eve.
Why twice?
That's how we do it.
With the same family, though?
Yeah.
Huh. Because I can understand doing it if you see one side of if you're like married or something, you see one side of your family on one day and you see the other side of the family the other day.
Yeah, well, that's why Christmas Eve I'm doing mine, and then Christmas Day we always do the woman's because Christmas Eve is bigger in my family and Christmas Day is bigger in hers. But like the whole birthday the day before is because my cousins can never decide on a date, and they couldn't nail down Christmas Eve, so they nailed down the day before. So but my parents just like, we have to celebrate Christmas Eve on Christmas Eve, so I got to do a whole 3-day marathon.
Right.
And I'm gonna be totally burnt out by the end of Christmas. And because Hanukkah was the first week of December, and you had your Jewish friends running around, I want some potato pancakes, had to deal with that. And then Thanksgiving was not too long ago. So
your Jewish friends run around? Is this like a defining characteristic of your Jewish friends?
Yes, they have 5K marathons for each holiday.
My only Jewish friend is Giddles, and I know that he likes to run.
Does Giddles like to run? I know he likes to cook.
Not at all. Giddles does not like to cook. He loves to cook, does not like to run, and he barely celebrates Hanukkah.
But Giddles is also like that typical New York person, like, I don't have a car, so I walk everywhere. And he does the New York walk, where nothing's just like a nice casual stroll. He's a man on a mission constantly. So when I went and hung out with him one time, wherever we were going, he was 3 blocks ahead of me the whole time. I was sprinting.
Huh. All right.
Interesting. Well, Matt.
So anyway, yeah, I'm shot out.
Matt, what are you doing for the holidays?
Christmas Eve, I host at my house. I have my parents, my sister, her husband, and baby.
Do you do the 7 fishes since you're ultra Catholic?
No, we don't do 7 fishes.
That was an Italian thing.
We're doing a bunch of fishes.
Yeah, he is Italian, Trevor.
You said Catholic.
We'll have. I'm just barreling over both of you as you argue and bicker in the background.
No, I'm listening to you, Matt. I apologize for Trevor.
I'm doing steamed mussels. I'm doing cocktail shrimp. I'm doing some sort of white fish. I'm doing pasta with a clam sauce. We will probably have galamad. So I think we'll have like 5 fishes. We won't get to 7, but we'll have 5.
Okay.
5 seafoods.
You gonna sneak a little lasagna or something in there? Some baked shells?
No, I can't overeat anymore. Like, so we're gonna do pasta, obviously, and we'll have I'll have a nice antipasto as well to start the night off. You know,
that's you always got to have some good seafood and a good antipasta.
Yeah, you gotta have that. But I can't overeat anymore. Like Christmas, I remember growing up, it was like you had your salad, and then you had your shrimp, and then you had fish, and then you had your pasta, and then you had your meat. I mean, I was literally dying in the streets of Staten Island after Christmas Eve meals. Right. I can't do that anymore. I get sick just thinking about that much food.
I mean, you get to a point in your life where, like, even when you go to the restaurant, you would get your appetizer, you get your salad, you get your main course, you get the dessert. Now half the time, or most of the time, you go to the restaurant now, I don't even want the appetizer anymore. It's just like, just give me the steak, give me the lobster, whatever I'm ordering.
I'm very envious. I have people in my life who I'm close with, and so I get to eat with them on occasion. And when the food comes out, when we eat, they immediately ask for a to-go box. As soon as the plate hits the table, can I get a to-go box? And they take half of it and put it in the to-go box.
You know what? As much as I think that's weird, or like...
Oh, it's brilliant.
I think it's brilliant, yeah. It's because you automatically know that you're not going to overindulge, and you have a meal for tomorrow.
Portion control, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't have that. I don't have that control. If you put a plate of food in front of me, so I think no, this is going to sound crazy, and some people are going to just say that I'm a big fat idiot. Part of that is right. I have lost a bunch of weight, but growing up,
I was going to say I do think you look rather svelte.
Very svelte.
I've lost about 25 pounds.
Good for you, sir.
So
why are you rubbing your chest while saying that?
Because he's flaunting it, as he should.
So growing up,
if you want Matt's body, if you think he's sexy, come on, Trevor, let him know.
Let me know. So growing up, I grew up in a household where you put a plate in front of you. Whatever you took and put on that plate,
you had to finish.
Hey, you ate that food. If it made you sick, you ate that food, and then tomorrow night you knew, don't take that much food, right? Because growing up, we were, it was all about being a little bit more frugal, not wasting, not overindulging.
Yep.
And so now I go to a restaurant and someone puts a big plate of food in front of me, and I have that Italian guilt in front of me, like, well, you look like you're starving.
It's not Italian guilt, because I had it in my family too. I still try to fight this urge where just because you make a meal or you have stuff left over in a pot, whatever, right, unless you're going to put it into Tupperware to have the next day or something like that. But if you don't want it anymore, I always feel like you have to finish everything that you made. Like, you can't just throw it out. And I've been starting to learn that you can just start throwing stuff out because you don't need to eat all of that.
I don't feel like I have to eat everything that I make, because normally when I cook enough for multiple meals. But I feel like if I've taken it to my plate, I have to eat it. So if it gets delivered to my plate, I have to eat it. And I know it's crazy, but it's
how little is too little, though, for the Tupperware? Like, that's what I do. Like, if there's only a scoop left, and say I'm dying, like, I'm so full, I think I'm going to get sick, but I look at it and it's just like one last scoop of mashed potatoes, that doesn't mean if I put it in Tupperware, it's not going to be significant further on in my life. I'm probably going to wind up eating it anyway, because I can't throw it out.
So what happens to me, I bought one of those, Rubbermaid 50-piece Tupperware sets. Like you do. And it comes with the really tiny Tupperwares.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, if I have a spoonful of mashed potatoes and I just can't eat it, I will take those mashed potatoes and put them in a small Tupperware and put them in the fridge.
Till have
for what? For like one
shots?
shot of potatoes? Yeah, but later on?
Because I'm telling you, I grew up, we didn't waste food. We didn't waste food. If there was leftovers, you saved it.
Of course.
So, I mean, there have been times where I've had, my dinner has been leftovers. It's that last scoop of mashed potatoes. It's the little piece of chicken. You got a little cauliflower, maybe make yourself a little salad. It's like a baby plate, but eventually you have enough food to fill yourself up, and then you haven't wasted anything.
No, I mean, my household was similar to Matt's, where, you always felt bad, like if there was stuff still in the pot or anything you made had to either be eaten or you put it in the away in the fridge, and then the next night, well, what are we having for dinner? Well, we have leftovers for that. Like, not having the leftovers was not an option. If there was food left in the house there, it had to go to something. So I still have that, which probably, look, I'll be honest, it's probably contributed a little bit to the fact that, there was some weight gain in previous years, because that still sits in your head that, like, you can make a thing of mac and cheese and just have, like, 2 scoops of it and not have to finish the whole damn thing just because you made it, in
the long time ago, I wanted to open up a restaurant. My original passion was to go to culinary school. I didn't pursue that career, but I wanted to.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to go to culinary school, and then I worked a catering job. And I was like, oh, I really love what I'm doing, but these guys get paid no money. I can't survive on this. So I decided not to go. So
then you went with radio? Jesus.
No. I went to school. I have a management degree, Trevor.
Oh, you're smarter.
He's one of those smart guys, Trevor.
Yeah. Do radio, they said. Follow your passion, they said.
Yeah. Well, you listen to the wrong people. So I had an idea for a restaurant. The name of the restaurant was going to be called Leftovers. And it was going to be a plate of small portions like you would see at a, grandma's refrigerator.
I thought
that interests me.
Mashed potatoes with the corn mixed in.
Right.
A little bit of steak. You had a little bit of chicken. You had one small piece of sauce. And I had a whole menu fleshed out. I was working on it with Big Kev at one point in time. And I was like, this would totally work as a diner type setting.
It's just one chicken leg with a bite taken out of it, but the rest of the chicken's still there.
Exactly.
But now what are those Italian restaurants where you go and they serve you little portions?
Oh, well, like a tapas restaurant?
Tapas, yeah. So Matt pretty much wanted to do general purpose tapas.
And my idea was that the plates were going to be old school cafeteria trays.
That's amazing. That would have been great.
The 3 sections and the little cup holder for your milk.
Right.
And it was going to be all mismatched utensils. Nothing matched.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Did you think about the wait staff at this point? Because now I'm just picturing, since it's going to be that old school, it's just like every waitress has to act like an old 50s mother or grandmother.
No, I wasn't.
Get your elbows off the table!
They all look like they all look like Donna Reed, but it's like those restaurants where they insult you. They're smacking you in the back of the head. Sit up straight, elbows off the table. Use a napkin.
Disney has that, right?
Yeah. But yours, I think you would actually allow them to beat you.
That's right. Are you talking about that 50s cafe in?
Cafe.
Yeah.
What do you mean you want ketchup and they throw it at you?
There goes your tip, sir. No, that's the ambiance. Oh, I totally overlooked what this restaurant was all about.
There was a restaurant in
We're paying extra for this.
You remember the restaurant, Eric, in San Diego? Was it Dick's? Where they insult you the entire time?
Yes. No, it wasn't Dick's. It was
you two would go to a place called Dick's.
Trevor, you're yelling. Hang on. It wasn't Dick's. Maybe it was. There was one Dick's, but there was the other one that sounds like Trader Joe's. Something.
I don't know. All I remember is you would go in. The hostess would come up to you and call you an asshole, and ask where you wanted to sit, and then the waiter would throw a menu at you.
Sounds like every New York diner.
It does sound like every New York diner, but in San Diego, it's a gimmick.
Well, there's one in L.A. too. There's a hot dog place. Very famous I want to say, I don't know if it's Pink's, but there's a very famous hot dog place in LA where they shit on you. And then there's one in Chicago too.
Yeah.
Where you go real late at night and, it's like drunk bar food. You go for these great hot dogs and then all of a sudden the wait staff and the people taking your orders are just shitting all over you the second you walk in. They make fun of your order. They make fun of you. It's just nonstop. There's never a nice word to be had in that place.
People like aggressive food service.
I don't know why. It sounds like a good novelty, but when you go there and you're like, this was really not a good idea on my part.
Well, you have to go in with the right mindset. You can't go there like hungover. You can't go
with low self-esteem. Apparently, you
can't go after having a bad day at work.
Right.
You gotta like stand in the mirror and like beat your chest a couple of times. And like, I'm gonna go get insulted and eat a cheesesteak. You gotta get ready for that shit.
So you're having Christmas Eve at your place, and then Christmas Day you're driving, I guess, to family or something, right?
At my parents' house, yeah. But like we do a combined family, so my wife's father will be with us for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. My brother-in-law's mother will be there on Christmas Day. Everybody just gets together. My parents host everything,
So it's not cut and paste like Trevor's family. Like Sunday it's here, Monday it's here, and it's all the same people, same food. Maybe that's what the next meal is. It's all leftovers. They're taking Matt's idea.
That's it. No, we do different meals each day. No spaghetti on the wall, so that's always good.
No.
Yeah, no, it's a good time. I like Christmas. Christmas is one of my favorite holidays, and I like hosting it for Christmas Eve.
Me too. My family used to do a lot for Christmas Eve and Christmas, but as time goes on, people move away. Almost like the majority of my family is in Florida, but I do have a bunch of family still up here, and they're not doing like I used to go to my brother's house for Christmas Eve, and he have a big party, but they don't do that anymore now. Right. And my sister's family just moved back into their house after a year or so. Because
after all the problems they had, right?
Yeah. For those who don't know, where my brother and my sister's families live was right where Sandy hit here in the New York area, and their area especially had the ocean cross over the land to meet the bay, and then also houses went on fire. So picture the neighborhood underwater while everything is burning. It's almost like an action film. And so it took so long for the state, because they put these new regulations that these houses on the coastline had to be physically raised to a certain level.
Oh, sure.
The state only just finally got around to it in the beginning of beginning of 2017.
Okay.
And now they just moved a week ago. They just moved finally back into their house after they had to leave it and seal it all up so they could raise the house up. It took over a year. So they're finally back in their house now, unpacking, getting, settled again. So they're not doing Christmas stuff. I'm going to try to do something at my place for whatever family. It's all piecemeal. It's an open invite. Like, if people want to come, great. If they don't, they don't. Christmas Eve is just going to be me and a delicious prime rib from Pat LaFrida's. That's going to be my Christmas Eve, and I can't think of a better night. And then Christmas, I don't know, somebody's family. We're going to figure out what we're doing for that day. Yeah,
well, it sounds joyous nonetheless.
Yeah, this year is a bit unorganized, so it's like if we make it, great. If we don't, we don't. I prefer a more traditional family-style Christmas where where you go for Christmas Eve. Where you go Christmas Day. Where you go like the weekend before those holidays to see family that you wouldn't see on those 2 days. And it's just not the case right now. And I started to realize that as much as when you're an adult and you don't have children in your immediate family, not nieces and nephews, but in your immediate family, when you don't have your own kids, it's really hard to stay in the Christmas mood, no matter how much you're really trying to make an effort or trying to fight outside influences. Just like, it's like, I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to put Christmas music on, even though it's tacky and I know it's on, but it'll get me in the mood. I'll watch these cheesy specials on television, and it really just doesn't do the thing. And I was thinking about you, Matt, because, I've known your son since he's born, and your family, and I love that kid, and I know what lengths you guys go to for the holidays, and just having a kid in your house, it's got to mean something more at this stage of your life to kind of rediscover the magic and wonder of Christmas time again, because you have a kid, as opposed to, say your kid is what? Your son's what, 7?
7, yeah.
7. So if you go back even before, so 10 years ago,
right,
you celebrated Christmas and enjoyed it at a different level as compared to now with your son around. I really think Christmas, unless you have a lot of family around all the time, I think Christmas really is a kid's holiday. And I hate to say that.
It's to live vicariously through their excitement.
Yeah.
It's but I like Christmas. Like, I like the cool weather. I like going to the city. I like I like going to Bryant Park and Rockefeller Center.
Yeah, those are fun, yeah.
I like putting on Christmas carols. I like the tree. I curse out the Christmas lights when I'm putting them up outside, but I like putting them up. I like seeing what they look like when they're all lit. Like, I like doing all of those things. It's fun, but it's just like anything else. When you have a kid, right, you get to again live vicariously through them. Like, I'm a Disney guy, right? I love going to Disney, but when I was able to finally start taking my son to Disney and live it through the kids' eyes again,
right,
it was just a different experience again. So, but I've always been
I love Christmas, I always try to start it earlier and earlier just to get get the feeling of it's coming. The anticipation of it. I try to. At one year, I'm going to have it at the beginning of November. The lights will be up outside.
No, boo.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Boo.
No. Don't be that guy. Please don't be that guy.
It's always going to go up before Thanksgiving. That's my thing now.
Sometimes I put them up before Thanksgiving, but I don't light anything until after Thanksgiving.
All right, that's a fair point.
Sometimes I'll put them up before Thanksgiving because the weather is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. But you don't hit that on button until after the turkey's in your stomach.
That is correct. When you wake up from the turkey coma, then you can light the lights.
At 4 p.m., those timers go on, and the house goes Griswold.
That's right.
So that's pretty much what I'm doing. And then you got New Year's, which I never enjoyed. New Year's is never it's interesting. It's the worst holiday because everyone thinks that there's a certain way you have to do it, and if whatever your plans are, you tell somebody, they're just like, oh, you should go do this or you should do that. There's no right way to celebrate New Year's Eve, and I think unless it's just what I've been doing for many years is I just stay home. I make a bunch of good food and I enjoy myself at home, and sometimes 9 o'clock comes around, you're like, yeah, I'm not watching the ball drop. I'm just gonna go home. I'm just gonna go to bed.
I have two stories to tell, or one thing in the story. So I enjoyed New Year's a lot more when I was a kid, like 10 years old.
Because you got to stay up till midnight.
You got to stay up, right? It was a special night. Ooh, you got to stay up. And growing up, we had a big, huge New Year's party. Either my parents hosted it or very close friends of the families hosted it. We would take turns, right? So there was a ton of kids. You got to stay up late, which was like, you're the only time you're allowed to stay up past midnight. We would watch the Twilight Zone marathon, and then the more I got older, it was like, oh, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go to someone's house. We're gonna drink a lot. It'll be fun. You have a couple of laughs. Everybody has a good time. But I don't know. It became sort of just like, what are you doing for New Year's? Got to find something to do for New Year's. It almost became like you had to do something, otherwise you felt like a loser.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly the point.
And now I'm totally content with just, I don't care. So I was at Eric's house for New Year's a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember what was going on, but something was going on that night in addition to New Year's. Like there was some big like case that was being tried or something, and there were all these protests planned for New Year's Eve in New York and New Jersey. I remember I left Eric's house like 10 o'clock that night because I wanted to be home before the protesting started in case it made its way into New Jersey.
OJ.
No, it wasn't OJ.
And Trevor actually gets an old reference and uses it in the wrong spot.
I think it was the guy in Philly. The don't breathe, or I can't breathe, or
Eric.
The guy who wound up getting roughed up by the cops and then wound up dying, right?
That's the way.
Yeah, okay.
I think it was that one, but I just remember being at your house New Year's Eve. We had eaten. It was me, you, and Ange, and I don't remember if anybody else.
I think Big Kev was there.
And I was like, yeah, I gotta go. 10 o'clock rolled. I was like, I gotta go. I don't need to see the ball. I don't need to see the fireworks. I just gotta go. I want to go home and be on my couch.
We did it because Kevin was there too, and we did an episode of this show that night. We taped it.
That same night?
I think it was the same night. Yeah.
The night that Kevin was there, my family was there. But the night that I'm thinking of, I was by myself. I think my wife and child were in Florida that year.
Oh, yes. Yeah. We didn't do an episode that night.
Yeah. But nonetheless.
But yeah, so it got to the point, like you were saying, when you get older, that you feel pressured into, you got to go to this party. You got to go hang out with these people. Everybody, you got to make the restaurant reservation, which is a total scam. There's just no right way to do New Year's Eve, and everyone is always searching to find the perfect thing to do on New Year's Eve. And even if you do think you're doing the right thing, it's like, oh, we're going to dinner with friends and we're going to go to this party. You're still sitting there and you feel like there's probably something, you feel like regret, like there was something better you could have been doing than this.
As the two old guys are talking about this on the microphone, I just picture Trevor having a New Year's Eve party with like Van Wilder.
Trevor's doing all the Fortnite dancing in the living room.
Sex dolls and booze.
Okay, so let me start this by saying I did also what you guys did as well. You know, you got to stay up late, get all excited. And then the one year my parents decided to do like the restaurant reservation, went to like this really authentic German place, and you know, it was really good German food, and we celebrated New Year's there. It was kind of cool because they had like the band playing, but it was too much. It's like, oh, I've been at this restaurant for 6 hours and there's only so much red cabbage I can eat. And so we just did everything at home. But the year I turned 21, my friends, like, no, we all did something separate for some reason, because I went to college locally. They kind of all went back to their colleges because they were like only drives away. And we celebrated our 21st birthday, like our New Year's, completely separate. I went to this place that was so terrible that they ran out of liquor. It was an open bar that ran out of liquor. That's how much we were drinking and partying. No, come on. It's New Year's, Eric. You should be prepared with as much Maker's Mark as I am prepared to drink.
Dude, my New Year's is prepared. It's like I got, you know, those stuffed pastries with potato and spinach. I've got, you know, Nathan's cocktail weenies. I've got all kinds of hors d'oeuvres feeding me throughout the night. That's all I do.
They ran out of food too. So for my 21st New Year's Eve, you know, kiss the girl as I was throwing up in a garbage can because the food gave me food poisoning / I was drinking whiskey for 2 hours, thanking a Marine as he's throwing up next to me. And we all collectively came together after our 21st year out. All my friends who had the exact similar experience of a terrible night out, going anywhere, and said, we're never again doing this. We're always going to get together at one of our collective houses, and we're going to just be together on New Year's. And we've done that ever since I was 21. And yes, last year was nothing but mozzarella sticks, cocktail weenies, and a whole bunch of drinks.
Pronounce it the right way.
The year before I turned 21, the New Year's party that I went to the year before I turned 21 was on college campus. I spent that New Year's, I left the party highly inebriated. I fell down a hill, rolled into the street, and I laid in the street for about 15 minutes until someone came and picked me up and took me back to my dorm room.
Were you not conscious, or are you just gonna like, I'm comfortable, I'm gonna lay here?
No, I was comfortable. The ground was really cool. Everything stopped spinning. Luckily, there wasn't a lot of traffic.
Go around! Go around!
Some guys are walking back to their dorm and they see Matt there and he thinks they're going to help him up. They just put traffic cones to diverge.
Around me. No, it's a true story. I rolled down a hill and I laid in the street for about 20 minutes.
That's
before
brilliant.
I got back to the dorm. So
we would have been friends in college.
We probably would have been friends in college.
I never had those issues. I was always, because I'm not the big drinker type, but I was always worried too about the drunk driving, leaving somebody's house after midnight. Because again, you're at somebody's house party, you're like, oh, midnight is coming. Here's the big countdown. Hey, what's going on? Happy New Year. You say, you know, congratulations and all this stuff to the people in the party. Then you know, your phone's ringing, or you call your parents, you call your kids, call whatever you're doing. Then by like 12:10, everyone's just like, oh, it doesn't matter. The party's just kind of dead right now. Everyone wants to go home. And then it's just jam-packed traffic to, depending where you are, to go back home. But I'm always worried because it's amateur night for drinking and everybody's out there, you know, drunk driving. And now in the last several years, you're adding intoxication on top of phone addiction if they're not using Uber and Lyft and stuff. And it's a really scary concept. And I just I don't want to go out anywhere.
For those years that I partied the hardest, I was already at college, so I was always at a college New Year's party.
You could just go back to your dorm,
at an apartment, and even after that, there were definitely years where I went to. Even after college, there were years I went to New Year's parties where I just slept wherever I was. But that was always the understanding. Like, you know, like we're having a New Year's party at our house. We can't give you a bed, but we can give you, you know, a 6x2 piece of floor.
Works for me.
I think I have a blanket over there. You can use that.
Yeah, you know. And
see the dog's bed? There you go.
For my college parties, I became friends with the campus police. So I would invite the campus police to all of my parties. So if the real police would show up, the campus police would go to the door first and then just tell them to leave.
You pick up the blue phone, campus police. Hi, Matt. Well, we'll pick you up. We'll bring you over to dorm A in a few minutes.
Did you ever? I went one step ahead. I had a party like that one time, and we invested the whole entire crew through the party in a full, real, like you would believe it, cop uniform.
Oh.
And and we had, if like the cops came, like we always had one guy who was sober enough that if the cops came, he'd put on the uniform real quick.
Right.
And just walk out as the cops were coming. It was like, oh, I got here first, guys. I gave them the warning, and they're like, they're fine in there. I just checked it out, and they're like, oh, okay, cool, and walked away. It worked twice.
I'm just
not just like a one-off. It worked constantly.
I just found the one campus police officer who was okay with underage drinking. I became good friends with him, and then I just invited him to all the parties, and then I never had to worry ever again.
See, Matt is street smart and he's business smart, because that's some old school mob tactics.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like,
absolutely.
you know, you grease the doorman to your building or your work building, which, by the way, Matt knew the drill with the I can't remember the lady that grew a fondness to Matt on Saturday nights when we were doing the show.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah.
Bullock was her last name.
Yeah. And so the night guys on Saturday, and then we switched to Friday, but the night crew for the security of the building, and then I'd get in early for the morning show, and Otis, who was the guy who would bring Howard upstairs, let Ronnie and Robin in on the side, became good friends with him, so he would let me in on that side entrance as well, instead of having to go all the way around the building, because they close half the building at that time of the day. And all he ever wanted was like boxes of Twinkies and Devil Dogs, because his wife wouldn't let him have it. So
I used to bring her tasty cakes.
Yeah, and you'd bring we just would bribe them with junk food, and they loved us. That's how that's how you get the places. If you park in the garage, a normal garage, and you see those people all the time, you just grease the palms a little bit, and it goes a long way.
Long way.
Long way. So I think for New Year's this year, I think Matt's coming over this year, right?
I believe that I am. I've been told that I am, so I believe that is correct.
That'll be a lot of fun. Trevor and Giddles were invited as well, but Trevor's got his own shindig going on to celebrate the New Year.
I turned the host with the friends, so
he's got that, and then Giddles may make it out here. He's still figuring out his plan, so that would be fun if he gets a chance to do that.
Oh, that would be nice.
One thing before we go to break, Amazon. It's busy delivery season right now. Everybody's shopping online. Amazon, not too long ago, Jeff Bezos said that he was going to circumnavigate traditional shipping methods like the United States Post Office, FedEx, UPS, because Donald Trump said that Amazon had this deal with the United States Post Office that he felt that the country was getting screwed by the negotiated deal that they had, and he wanted to vastly increase the fees that Amazon would have to pay to use the post office to ship. So Jeff said, well, then we're just going to do it ourselves.
Right.
And nobody quite really knew what that meant. Like, were they going to build their own fleet of trucks, and you were going to see like black and yellow Amazon trucks out everywhere? And we didn't see any of that stuff. So it kind of went out of the mindset. But then holiday time comes around, everybody's shopping. What they did was they started to franchise their shipping. So they would hire a bunch of people who would then hire other people, almost like a pyramid thing. They would hire a bunch of people, then who would hire people under them, and then they would be responsible for picking up the orders at these deployment centers, where they're renting U-Haul trucks, Avis vans, and
Enterprise, yeah,
and you're seeing just all these different vehicles all around your towns all the time. Like, there's some mornings I got up to walk the dog, and it's like 6:15, and there's already packages on the front steps.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? And then I started to realize, I'm like, oh, this isn't the post office. The post office isn't doing any of this stuff.
Look, I don't care as long as I get my package. I don't care who delivers it.
Well, I was thinking that way too, but a couple of things. One is that we started to notice that they just were throwing the packages up on the steps. They weren't even leaving them by the front door. And we have signs that said, for our building to bring them around to the bin in the back. They just would leave them in the front and then go away. Some of them are on the side. Like today I went and looked, and some of them are soaking wet because of the rain. Right, they just leave them there. And because you see the news stories now, the local news, even the national news, love doing these fluff pieces about, I think they call them porch pirates and Grinches, where
the guy that made the glitter bomb is my new hero.
I love him.
Oh, yeah, that just came out where somebody was trying to steal a package, and it was a glitter bomb, and it blew up in his face.
Former NASA engineer. He spent like 8 months building this glitter bomb, and then after the glitter, it also shot out fart spray.
That's where our tax dollars should be going.
Right. Fart spray, glitter bombs.
And then, but the only requirement, it has to be on video, and then you have to upload it to the internet after it's done.
That's the name of tonight's episode: fart spray and glitter bombs. I'm calling it now.
Merry Christmas. Fart
Thank
spray. Glitter bombs. But yeah, so it never always works out 100%. You think like, this is amazing, they're going to have deliveries all the time, and they do.
Sure.
But they're not competent people where they're just they come out and they're throwing it on your steps, or they're just like, you have a sign, just please put it around the corner here. Nope, they don't do it. It gets ripped open, it gets stolen, and you don't know what to do, because at least the post office and UPS, they see the signs, they'll go and do that.
I had a package that I was supposed to get delivered. It was like 2 weeks ago, and it was supposed to be guaranteed Friday delivery, is what it said, right? So what does that mean? Guaranteed Friday delivery. So Friday comes around, and I get the notification in the morning. Your package is 9 stops away. Have you noticed that? It's always 9 stops away.
Yeah, when you get that notification, it's always at 9. That's when they give you the warning. Yeah,
that's when they give you the warning. So all day long, my package was at 9 stops away and never got delivered.
I've never seen that.
I would pull up the map, and I could see where it was on the map, and it never made it to me. So then at night, I get the notification that now my package has been delayed until Monday, which I don't get, because Amazon delivers on Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday morning.
They're not going to be in your area till Monday.
No, Saturday morning I wake up. Your package is 9 stops away. But the truck doesn't move all day. The truck was parked in one spot all day.
You should have went to the truck.
I should have. So I called, finally, after dealing with this again on Sunday, I called them up. The end resolution was they just gave me $25 in credit. And then my package eventually showed up on Monday. But all I could think to myself is, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Deliver my package. How stupid are you? Just get it to me. That's all.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I mean, unless it's for a gift, I would take the $25 credit.
I took the $25 credit.
And just be happy.
I was happy, but all I can think is, from a business standpoint.
Oh, no, they're losing so much money, and they're so dumb.
If they're just giving out $25, they're extending your Amazon Prime membership by a month or 2 months every time there's a problem.
Right.
It's insanity.
I don't get it. I mean, you think it's the curse and the convenience of this kind of luxury, where you can, at the just using your app and just by pushing a button, instant payment for an item that you want, and with your Prime shipping, it'll be there 1, 2, 3 days depending on the situation. And then when they said, well, we're going to bypass all the other traditional shipping stuff, we're going to do it ourselves. So you're thinking, first I'm thinking, I'm like, they have that many drones to do that. But then I had no idea they were going to franchise it out like this. And I don't think it's going to stop, because even after the holidays, there's so many deliveries. Like, you look down my street, there's a lot of packages really early in the morning. So that's pretty convenient. How do you fight that? You get shitty customer service, in the sense of they don't, handle it very well, or they don't put it where it needs to be, but it gets there way earlier than you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a strange business model.
You know what, though, too? Like, the Amazon's doing something right, because, like, today I had FedEx show up for the first time ever, and they were delivering something, and my doorbell rang, and I thought it was a package, but, like, the doorbell woke me up. Like, I was in bed, so I was like, all right, whatever it is. If it's someone I don't give a shit about, they can just stand there, and if it's a package, they'll just leave it. And then, like, 2 seconds later, after the doorbell rang, it was like the Hulk was smashing on my front door, and I was like, what the hell? Like, jump up, put clothes on, that is respectable to answer the door in, and ran downstairs, opened the door, he's gone. Like, whoever it was, I'm like, wait, there's no package, there's nothing. I go and check the garage, maybe they just threw it there, because they do that from time to time, and nothing. And then apparently I missed that whole entire little sticker that they put on the door. It says, we try to deliver something, and it just wrote, not, but like with like a backwards N, it looked like, and a veil, and like they spelled a veil wrong. They didn't do available, it was just AVAL.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn it, Amazon would have at least like took a picture and sent me an email, because you see that too when they put your package down, they take a picture like, this is where I left it. It was here. Here's our proof.
FedEx is terrible. I hate
FedEx. Just try to break down my freaking door.
FedEx never lets you release a package. Someone always has to be there to sign for it. It's annoying. It's terrible.
I hate FedEx, because I think you fall into this jurisdiction, Matt, for where you live. But if they say repeat attempts and nobody was there, there's been times where I know I was home during the day and nobody tried to deliver it. You have to go to their distribution center in order to pick it up. So now I got to travel 20-something minutes over to their distribution center just to get a package that I've been trying to get for 5 days, and they keep saying we tried to deliver, but no one's home. And I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm home. You didn't come here.
One day I was home and I was waiting for a package, and I said, I'm home. Please knock. Here's my cell phone. And I put my cell phone number on the note on the front door, because I was like, this guy's going to show up while I'm taking a crap, or he's not going to bother to ring the bell and he's going to leave, and I'm going to just end up being pissed. I mean, I got lucky in that I happened to go outside to do something as he pulled up, but
oh, I thought you said you were going to go outside and just go to the bathroom in the yard and wait.
I was just gonna dig a hole in the front lawn and shit in it until the FedEx guy
you
came.
just bury it in the flower bed, and then come spring, you got a wonderful surprise.
And a rose bush.
Look at those tulips. I wouldn't smell them, though.
Anywho.
Anyway, all right. We're going to take a break. Matt's going to join us for a tiny bit for the beginning of segment 2, and then he has to vamoose to other things. Trevor and I will finish the show. But before we go to break, I want to play this clip. Saturday Night Live, I usually don't make too much of a deal about that show, but they did their big Christmas show to end the year. They did something a little different for Weekend Update at the end, because the hosts of Weekend Update are Colin Jost and Michael Che, comedians. And
this was hilarious.
They let them do something off format, where as they were finishing up Weekend Update, they said, our gift to each other is that we wrote jokes that the other person has to read on the air, and they haven't seen them. So they're on cue cards, and the first time they're seeing them is as they're reading them on the air. And it went in a direction that I got to say bravo for pushing the limits of what they got away with, even though it was midnight. Just it's not even the matter of language, it's the matter of context nowadays with certain things. So this clip is pretty amazing. We're going to play this, and then we'll be right back.
Well, since Christmas is coming up, Che and I decided that our gifts to each other this year would be jokes.
Yeah, so we're making each other read jokes live on air that the other person has never seen before.
Do you want... Do you want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, no.
I do.
Okay. A church in Massachusetts has created a nativity scene that comments on the immigration debate by placing the baby Jesus in a cage, where he belongs.
A new study shows that the average American touches their mobile device more than 2,000 times a day. Only 2,000 times, said my penis. Okay.
Oh, God. Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari, for the first time, denied months-old rumors that he had died and been replaced by a look-alike from Sudan. See, even Africans can't tell black people apart.
A new report shows that Hurricane Florence was the wettest in history. The previous record for wetness was set on the opening night of Magic Mike.
This is on cards. I want to switch it up a little. Che didn't write this one. This is all me.
I like to hear this.
Last week was National Rosa Parks Day, or as we call it in my house, Uppity Bus Passenger Day.
Oh, you're going to get laughs about that one. Merry Christmas, everybody, for Weekend Update. I'm Michael Che.
I'm Tom Jones. Good night.
It's Erik Nagel. Erik and Matt will be right back.
Attention. Shameless social media plug.
It's Erik Nagel is on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and reluctantly, Snapchat. So follow, like, and subscribe. Would you kindly? It's Erik Nagel. He is back.
Welcome back to It's Erik Nagel, segment 2. That is me. Over in the Upside Down is Trevor. And our special guest, Matt OG, returns home. Hello, sir.
Getting bit by a cat.
I thought you were saying you son of a bitch to us. I'm like, yeah, welcome back, ass.
My cat is biting me.
He's very excited.
Weird. You're sitting there. Well, it's like, yes, I'm back, and you're holding a cat like Dr. Evil and just petting it.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. I am Dr. Claw. I'll get you, Gadget.
I'll get you next time, Giddles. Next time.
So yes, I am back. Hello.
All right. Looking at the weekend box office from last weekend. Coming in at number 1, I know Matt saw this, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. How was it?
Oh, it was so good.
Oh, that's good to hear, because it looks okay. It looks pretty good, but I wasn't sure. I do want to go see it myself, and I'm glad that you're saying that it's worth the time.
Yep. You go to twitch.tv/GeekStuffOG, where I did an in-depth review of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse last night, and that stream is still online.
Oh, okay. Coming in at number 2, The Mule. Number 3, still holding strong, Dr. Seuss, The Grinch. I bet next week it tanks really hard. Number 4, Ralph Breaks the Internet. And number 5, Mortal Engines. Now, I got to ask you this, Matt, because every time we saw some of that stuff at New York Comic Con. Remember they had the big display on the floor?
Yes.
Right before you come into the main floor. And every time I see the trailer, all I can think of is, remember the beginning of Monty Python's Meaning of Life?
Yeah, with the giant foot?
No. The accountants that turn the building into a pirate ship and they attack Wall Street.
Yes.
That's what it reminded me of. I thought this was like a Terry Gilliam kind of thing, and it's a Peter Jackson joint.
I think it looks really cool. I won't see it in the theaters, but
yeah.
I do want to see it as it comes out.
I do, because it's like, oh my God, it's London, and then it's just the city on these huge wheels. So it's like Lord of the Rings, it's like Mad Max, it's like the beginning of Meaning of Life. It's a whole bunch of different things that feel familiar.
And it's based on a series of books, too. So Peter Jackson adapted it for film.
But I'll wait for it to be released on demand, and I will rent it there. A couple of trailers we talked about last week. I just want to give mention. Godzilla, King of Monsters, Matt, have you seen that?
I'm excited for that.
I am very excited for that. And I like the other Godzilla movie. I know a lot of people kind of were on it. But I actually enjoyed it, and now that it's tied in with the King Kong movie,
it's an absolute blockbuster popcorn flick.
That's
all I'm expecting, and I think it'll be fun in that regard.
It's much monsters,
that
are going to be revealed and just destroying things and fighting each other. Yep. And if they're smart with this, I'm sorry, what?
I was going to say the poster they released this week had Ghidorah on it, didn't it? I think
Ghidorah's in it. That spiky little turtle-looking thing with the mace tail.
Yeah,
is in, I think, one of the silhouettes for when you see the quick flash of a battle scene.
Bowser,
Mothra, I think, is supposed to be in it. Mothra, and many more. If they're smart about this, they'll just use the human story to get the ball rolling, and then just watch the monsters do everything. I hate in the Godzilla formats where they try to make it more about the human story than it is the monster coming in and destroying everything. But it does look good, and I have very high hopes for that.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it.
Got high hopes. He's got
Hellboy. Hellboy. So Hellboy gets... We knew for a while back that they were going to do a Hellboy movie. And at first, when the news came out, we all thought, oh, a third Hellboy movie. And it wasn't the case. They were rebooting Hellboy. And Hellboy is not that far removed from the first two, or the original two, Hellboy movies are not that far removed from the time of this coming out.
Right.
And they recast it, no Ron Perlman, and the trailer finally dropped. And I don't know if it was just me, but I was very unimpressed. It looks like they were making it campy, like it was a happy romp kind of movie.
That trailer was a festering boil on the cock of society.
Tell us how you feel, Matt.
I hated that trailer.
Yeah, and that's really disappointing.
So when we heard that it was getting rebooted, let's jump to that part of the story. I was like, okay, we'll see where it goes. When I heard it was David Harbour, I was immediately like, all right, I'm on board. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, I wasn't against it.
And then David Harbour went on this whole press tour when it got announced, right? This is going to be darker. It's going to be more true to the tone of the books. It's going to be dark and gritty. And then you see that first movie poster of David Harbour as Hellboy in the full makeup. You're like, yeah, badass Hellboy, rah! Right? And then that trailer comes on, and it's fucking Moni is playing, and it's like a joke a minute. I still think the movie might be good, but whoever it was that decided that was the trailer, the first trailer to put out for this movie,
It was a very bad trailer.
should be immediately fired and blacklisted from Hollywood. They should no longer be allowed to make trailers.
Some of those action sequences where you don't really see what's going on, but at least he's not talking. I have a feeling they spoiled the ending.
It's possible. I don't understand why, after promoting it as such a dark movie and in such an intense movie, they went with a comedic trailer. I don't get it. I don't get it. And the makeup looks bad in the trailer. I thought
it does. It looks like his face is having a stroke or something.
You know what he looks like? He looks like Fawn from Pan's Labyrinth, painted red.
You know what? That's probably a dead-on reference, but I gotta admit, I have not watched Pan's Labyrinth.
So the Fawn was the lead character in Pan's Labyrinth, not the one with the eyes in his hands, the other one. He was
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
sprawly like things on his face.
I'll be watching that in my new segment coming soon called "Movies That Everyone Else Has Watched But Eric Hasn't."
Fair enough.
So every good movie ever.
Yeah, it'll be on our Patreon when that launches.
That's a long title, Eric.
It is. It is a bit wordy. I'll break it down. Maybe I'll just make it an acronym.
You might want to just workshop that. Shit Eric hasn't seen yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's the name of the segment.
I'll just call it "How Have You Not."
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, I have no look. I love the Hellboy movies. I did not explore the comics like that. I know you did. Our mutual friend Big Kev, I know, is a big Hellboy fan, and he goes, from the very beginning with that stuff, and loved or sort of loved the Ron Perlman movies. What does he think about this? Because I value his opinion on it.
Hated it.
Oh, he hated it too. So
you know who else is a big Hellboy fan?
Who?
By the way, the first person I texted last night, because I had already spoken to Kev via Facebook. So the very first person I spoke to last night was Dr. Steve.
He's a Hellboy fan?
He is a giant Hellboy fan.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And do you know Dr. Steve gives out his email sometimes on the show, or that email that he uses, the Lobster Johnson one?
Yeah.
Lobster Johnson is a Hellboy character.
Yeah. Duh. I can't believe I didn't put two and two together.
Very first person I texted last night was Steve, and I was like, dude, what did you think? And he was very Steve about it. He was very like, oh, it looks campy, maybe it'll be good. But I mean, at the end of the conversation, we were on the same page that we're going to try not to judge the movie based on the trailer. But the trailer did not really hit home with Hellboy fans.
You know what I'm thinking? You know how bad Hellboy actually looked, the actual creature Hellboy looked? It kind of reminded me, remember when they tried to reboot in the 90s The Munsters, and they had a different guy playing Herman Munster?
Yeah.
And how bad he looked? Like they were making his face sort of greenish.
Yeah, but it was much more like Seafoam.
Yeah, that's kind of the same feeling. Like he's the reboot Herman Munster is the reboot Hellboy.
Like,
I got one even better for you. Remember when they did The Punisher with John Travolta and I can't remember the guy's name, and like Kevin Nash was in it. I thought it was like a good attempt at the Punisher movie.
You talking Thomas Jane?
I don't know.
Is that his? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I actually relatively liked the movie, but then like 2 years later, they came out with a reboot already of another Punisher.
Ray Stevenson.
Yeah.
And he was chasing a guy from rooftop to rooftop, and they were just jumping all over, and he goes, I got this, and pulls out a rocket launcher and hits the guy square on like it's Fortnite, and the guy just goes poof. Like he doesn't explode by having a rocket hit his chest. It was like the worst campy version, because it was supposed to be, people were getting their heads knocked off and blown up for no reason. It was supposed to be a darker Punisher, and it was the worst piece of crap ever. So I'm going to say that this is going to be just like that.
Matt,
like it's going to be overly violent and overly punny jokes for no reason.
It's like Deadpool meets something.
I'm going to just connect it to that
Not
Punisher film. I
Deadpool.
think that's what it's going to be like. Just terrible.
It just looks terrible. I mean, I know cosplayers that have done a better makeup job than what he looked like in that trailer.
Matt, remember, I think it was 12 years ago. Remember we were at New York Comic Con You and I were walking the floor, and we're like, what is this homeless guy looking at the T-shirt booth?
Yeah, it was Thomas Jane.
Yeah, it was just this. It was a raggedy looking dude. I'm like, some homeless guy's just going through these T-shirt racks, and we walk over, and it's Thomas Jane wearing like a fedora and raggedy fingerless gloves.
Yeah.
And we're like, can we get a photo?
He was super nice though. He was really cool.
Great.
Yeah.
And then
my disguise didn't work.
And then fast forward 10 years later, we see his dick in Hung on HBO.
There you go.
Before you go, Matt, Black Mirror news. This technically falls under movies because it's not necessarily a season. It's a hour-and-a-half movie.
Which is like a single episode.
Yeah, which is, I don't know if this is like a movie and then there's a season coming out. Like, I didn't fully understand how this is all coming about unless this is all that we're getting.
Maybe it's just their winter special.
It comes out, they officially said it comes out on December 28th to Netflix. It's called Bandersnatch is the name of the movie. It's Black Mirror Bandersnatch.
There's just, the jokes just write themselves.
I was thinking like Vanderpump Rules, like Bandersnatch Rules.
I was thinking like Crash Bandicoot. So
Crash Bandersnatch.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah.
So many show titles.
No, it's just, where do we go?
But I'm very excited. I do know that Miley Cyrus is in something. I don't know if it's this movie or if they have something else coming on. She was on Howard not too long ago, and Howard said, he's like, first off the top of my head, he's like, I got to ask you. And she goes, I think I know what you're going to ask. And she goes, I can't really answer it. And he goes, are you in Black Mirror? And he said, okay, you're shaking your head, yes. She's like, I don't even know what I'm allowed to say. She goes, people, it's like, nobody knows this yet, but somehow one or two people found out, and Howard was one of them.
Right.
But she admitted she was over in the Ukraine, and she shot something for Black Mirror. So I don't know if it's this movie or if there's upcoming episodes or something.
She got the crazy eyes, so she'll fit with Black Mirror.
Look, I still think she's gorgeous. That's just me.
Yeah,
I'm into the Miley.
There you go. It's what it is.
You're a strange little man.
Well, he comes in like a wrecking ball, Trevor.
Naked and afraid.
I've seen him party in the USA.
Oh, this is. I gotta go.
That's the only two Miley Cyrus songs I know. So,
but Trevor, my best friend OG says that he's just being Miley.
I have to go, guys.
Matt,
I'm so
OG,
happy you came back.
Matt, thank you for coming back on the show, man. I know you got to run. Let's do your plugs now and get all that information out there for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. You can find me on social media. I'm at Geek Stuff OG across all the social media platforms. New episodes of the podcast go up each and every week over at bkgeekstuff.com. But the one I really want to plug and promote is Twitch, twitch.tv/geekstuffog. I think I'm like 14 followers away from 50.
And what does that do?
Well, once I get to 50 and I hit some other milestones, like hours-wise, I could potentially become an affiliate. And I know Big Trevor over there became an affiliate this week, so congratulations on that.
Thank you kindly, sir. Thank you.
Dummies. So I would, too, like to become an affiliate. So give me a follow. Check out what I'm doing. Tell me if you like it. Join the fun. I hope to I might actually be streaming later tonight. So check it out if you can. And if not, go fuck yourself.
On the Geek Stuff site, did you plug your you have the Patreon where you can
patreon.com/BK Geek Stuff. That would be awesome as well. I picked up a bunch of patrons this week, so thank you to whomever you are.
Yeah, you're welcome, because I resigned. You have that, but one other thing too is I don't know if you have the Amazon banner on your website. Okay,
I do have,
did you see that they're phasing that out? That was one other thing I forgot to bring up about Amazon.
Yeah, you're no longer going to be able to use the banners. You have to use direct links to specific products.
Yeah. For those who don't know, if you listen to a podcast or any kind of radio program where they say, oh, if you're going to do any holiday shopping or whatever, click on the Amazon tab or the Amazon banner that's on our website. All it is that you click on it, you do your regular shopping, you don't have to sign up for anything, but they know that it came from that particular link, and the show, the creator, whatever you want to call them, gets a percentage of that. Now they're getting rid of that and want you to set up your own kind of homepage, right? Where you have direct product links on this homepage, and that's what you feed out to people. So like you would say, like you would go to it'sericnagel.com to find all the links to listen to the show. You want to buy anything that we talked about, you go to amazon.com, whatever, /it'sericnagel, and then there's the homepage of everything that we talked about. and you buy it directly. I don't know if that necessarily is better, but I have seen other shows and companies, this is why I was bringing it up to your attention, that they've all switched to Walmart and Target, because when Amazon made that notice, that announcement, Walmart and Target started up their own programs, and now we're doing that for podcasts, for websites, etc.
I might have to look into switching. So whatever, I'll figure something out. But there are other ways to support the podcast via Twitch, via Patreon. So pick one of those. It's probably cheaper.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate your time, and hopefully we'll see you soon in the year 2019.
I'll pop back in again, maybe sometime in January.
Okay. Feel free to do so.
All right, gents. Have a good evening.
Moving over to television, Fox has announced that in January they're bringing the show The Masked Singer to the United States, which is completely dumb and pointless and useless here. The only reason I know of this show, and I think the only reason that most of the world knows of this show, it is a Asian-based program. I want to say Korean, but it could be Japanese, and Korea has a franchise of it, like a lot of shows. Well, I did say Asian, but I was trying to break it down on a molecular level. And
don't use words I don't understand.
Where you have shows like here in the United States, American Idol. It was not originally from here. It was called Pop Idol over in the UK, and that franchised out around the world. Same thing with America's Got Talent. Was originally, I think, is it Britain Got Talent? I think it's Britain Got Talent. X Factor, another British show, all by Simon Cowell, by the way. All three of those shows that were franchised around the world. Back in the day, America's Funniest Home Videos was from America, but it was also Australia's Funniest Home Videos, and that got franchised around. So shows like that, when you have a unique concept that's pretty generic, they manage to sell the rights to other countries to have them make their own versions. Then whoever creates the show makes $11 billion. Anyway, this Masked Singer show, the only reason I know it, and I think most of the world knows it, because during the promotion for Deadpool 2, Ryan Reynolds showed up on that show singing The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow from Annie, dressed as a unicorn.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun.
발음 좋은데.
Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're always a day
And when he did the big reveal, everybody goes friggin' nuts.
Ape shit.
Because those Asian shows have really elaborate, loud sets, both in color and in sound. And there's also like 18 judges or a panel or whatever it is off to the side. So they all go nuts and they can't believe what's going on. So this unicorn is singing The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow, and then does the big reveal, and it's Ryan Reynolds. And that video went viral all over the place because it was leading up to Deadpool 2. So somebody said, oh, that's a great idea. Let's bring it to the United States. There's no way they would have brought this to the United States because I don't think anybody cares about this show if it hadn't been for Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool. So they're taking a chance on this thing now. And it already looks dumb. Everything I see in the trailer, you see, and this isn't a stereotype, but you see Ken Jeong, who, if you know Ken from the Hangover movies, you may know him from different TV series. He's one of the judges, and he's leaning over the console, screaming and kicking his feet and yelling like, oh my God. And you're like, this is such trite. This is such garbage that it's over dramatic for no reason. This show is just going to bomb.
It's because the promo, too, sucks because you know who the Masked Singer is. Like, the promo, it's Christina Aguilera. Like, clearly, by voice and then by the hair, which she's used for, like, Moulin Rouge and the voice and all. It's the same big, poofy blonde hair. Like, guarantee you, first episode is Christina Aguilera. And it's, and then they edit in these terrible guesses that Madonna, Cher, fuck off. You know who it is.
Yeah. And even if it does moderately succeed, right? How many celebrities are going to want to be on this show.
It's going to turn into like Dancing with the Stars, where it's just like, oh, I can carry a tune, and it's going to be like the most C-rated like actors and actresses at one point. Because you could tell, because isn't it on NBC?
Fox.
Oh, it's on Fox?
It's going to be on Fox.
They're going to cash in on who does Fox even have? I don't know, because if you think like ABC...
I know what you're talking about.
NBC, they would pull from The Voice, or if they would pull American Idol judges in. I don't know what Fox
American
has
Idol is on ABC now. It's not.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know what shows Fox even has where they can pull.
They'll have one. They'll have they'll have a Peacock out there, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, it's Nancy Cartwright from The Simpsons. I know it's Bart. That's the talent they're going to bring.
It's going to be something so obvious. It's going to be like, well, that's Kermit the Frog, because no one else fucking speaks like that.
Right. Well, anyway, that show is coming, and the other thing is as I said earlier, I'm trying to get into more of a festive Christmas spirit. I sat down and watched the basics, which are still enjoyable. Charlie Brown Christmas, It's a Wonderful Life. I still have
seen any of those.
I have March of the Wooden Soldiers on my DVR that I have never watched ever, and that's been on in New York City forever with Laurel and Hardy. And I finally have it on the DVR, and I'm going to sit down and watch it for the first time because I've never seen it. That being said, but not by choice, but more by accident, and then staying with the selection, I've watched 2 NBC Christmas specials that were god awful, and they were so bad I wasn't even hate watching it. I was just torturing myself as sort of like penance. Like I felt I did something in my life that I deserved to sit through this stuff. One of them was A Legendary Christmas with John Legend and Christy Turlington.
Who's Christy Turlington?
His wife, some model.
Christy Teigen?
Teigen? Is that her name? See, yeah. I don't even know. She's okay. She's okay as far as a model goes. But this special
Turlington.
This special, I have no idea. This special was so 1950s Norman Rockwell. What the ad agencies think is the perfect, suburban Christmas stuff was so bad. Then the other night, I can't even pronounce this group's name. Pentatonics?
Pentatonics, yeah, they're huge.
I know, they're a huge a cappella group. This special was such complete garbage. The acting was horrible in it. Their singing was... I've never seen lip syncing of a cappella music.
Really?
They were performing these little scenarios, and they're not singing these songs because it's too well produced. So they're lip syncing a cappella.
Maybe they're just that good, Eric.
No, they're not that good. Because I watch and I look, and I've become an expert at looking at these things to see who is really singing and who doesn't. And I know some people say, well, sometimes they're doing that sweeting technique, which means they have the mic down low, so they really are singing, but you're not hearing it because the voice track is carrying it until there's dropouts, and the mic comes up and goes, "How you feeling, Houston?" And the crowd goes nuts, and then they go back into the song again. But that wasn't the case here. And at one point, they're singing as they're doing zip lines in Vegas. I'm like, this is such garbage. And then the Backstreet Boys showed up.
Yo, I love that new album.
And they were doing a merge of the supergroups together to do, I forgot, maybe Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I don't know which song, but I'm looking at them, and I hate when people... I know it's technique, but I hate when you see people hold a microphone
Deep breath.
And they go, and it's so painful where their hand is waving next to their face and their face is going through contortions to sing the damn song. And you see 10 dudes just doing this together. It looks horrible. I was so uncomfortable. I'm like, I need to leave. I couldn't even turn the TV off. I got up and left the room to go get a beverage, and I said, I'll wait till it's over. And then I came back into the room to watch the rest of it.
I just watched you reenact it.
I know.
I'm clearly uncomfortable.
And I'm not saying mine was anywhere even remotely close to how bad theirs was, but I'm sure it was pretty bad. So that was going on. And then Kelly Clarkson showed up, and then they had a narrator going in and out of each segment, and they're talking about something, and I don't remember what context they referenced Kelly Clarkson, but something went askew, and how are they going to fix this? Perhaps Kelly Clarkson can fix it. And then it goes to commercial. I'm like, what kind of transition was that? That was such garbage.
It was a tease.
It was horrible. I don't know why they still try to do Christmas specials like this. I'm convinced now if it's not animated, a Christmas special is really garbage.
They're probably right. I mean,
it's such an outdated genre.
But people still watch it. It's weird. Like, why do people spend 2 hours this year waiting for us to hit a button so a tree lights up?
Well, that's just suspense to see the lights. I mean, I kind of get that. That's like a real life event.
Like that John Legend thing, people loved it, and they replayed it on Saturday.
Oh, you're talking about watching it on TV. Okay. Yeah, the tree lighting is just something NBC does because they have the tree.
No, anything. Like, I don't know. You mentioned 3 Christmas movies right before this that I've never seen. Like, the Charlie Brown one I've definitely seen, but like besides that, like
you've never seen It's a Wonderful Life?
No.
That's like the OG Christmas movie.
Jingle All the Way?
No, although I'm told that's good because that has Arnold Schwarzenegger and Phil Hartman.
You've never seen Jingle All the Way?
I have not. I have not seen that.
It's like you watched popular things up until a certain year, and then you're like Jesus. You just disappeared in the Bible for like 20 years and then came back.
Maybe I am
like,
Jesus.
We all know about young Jesus, and then he disappeared because we know he all went out and got laid for a while, and then he came back and was like, all right, son of Christ, got to do all this fish talk.
Maybe I'm on the next season of Masked Singer where Jesus walks out and punches out a ballad, and then at the end I pull off the Jesus face, and it's me.
I'm not watching.
I'm going to go out there and sing Always Look at the Bright Side of Life, and then I'll pull the Jesus mask off.
Only if you do that hand-like orgasm face that you just did before. Stop it!
Yeah, that. Yeah.
God, it's a family show.
It's not a family show. There's nobody watching. Just you and me.
I'm sad.
The point being, Christmas specials they just suck. And I don't know how to fix it. Look, I'll put it out there. I don't have I'm not offering any solutions. I'm not offering any alternatives. I don't know what you can do at this point to fix the Christmas genre because it's just people recording the same couple dozen songs every year or every couple of years. There's rarely, I'll never say never, but rarely ever new Christmas songs that come out that add to the genre. You know, there are some unique ones. Back in the 90s, Mariah's All I Want for Christmas Is You, which is still big.
It's huge.
Gwen Stefani had that Christmas song last year that I'm trying to remember.
Rob Thomas.
It was big. Rob Thomas has one. There are people who do come out with unique Christmas songs, and they get added into the lexicon, but they just keep remaking these songs from the 30s, which, by the way, most of the Christmas songs written by Jewish writers and songwriters.
Baby It's Cold Outside has been done 57 times.
Yeah, who cares? I mean, there's no outrage. Who gives a fuck about the outrage for that song? And the song's not that good to begin with anyway. It's a romantic thing. Some people say it's a horrific thing. Who cares? It's an old song. Get some new Christmas songs. And we've got to figure out a way to fix the Christmas genre because Christmas specials are complete garbage. I don't know what to do. I have no ideas for it. But if you do, give us a call, 651-SMITHERS. That's 651-764-8437. And let us know what your ideas are for fixing the Christmas genre. And, actually, I think we do have a call. Phil in D.C. Phil, what's up?
Eric, you've talked about your DVD collection a lot recently. I was wondering, do you have any preferences towards packaging, like steel case, or do you just go with the normal packaging, and do you go with the special editions? What do you collect specifically?
Last week on the show, or I think for a couple weeks, we talked about the fact that I have bookshelves built in my place that should be housing books, but does not have books. Instead, it has thousands of DVDs and Blu-rays.
That you haven't watched?
No, I've watched the majority of them, but there's a lot in there that you're right, I have not watched. I don't really care for the steel cases. I think that's just, a clever way to punch up old movies so people will buy them. It's like, oh, look, I got the steel case. Or even when new movies come out, like that used to be a thing with Best Buy where you could buy the DVD, you could buy the Blu-ray, or you could buy the steel case that maybe had both of them in it. It was just a gimmick to market for you to spend a little extra for a movie that you normally wouldn't spend that much money for. I only buy the steel cases in the context now of that sometimes they're dirt cheap. You know, if it's a movie that I don't previously own and they're available in a steel case for $7, then you know what? I'll buy the steel case. Otherwise, I don't seek that out. I go for the original cases, and it doesn't really mean anything to me as far as the artwork goes. But I do like to have an original print of any kind of movie, because I don't want to, like I said last week, I don't want to download movies illegally. I don't want burns. I want my own official copy, and that's just for me, because I use it more than everybody's always about. Get a digital copy, stream it, whatever, and that's all well and good, but there's times where I need the actual physical copy for a reference point. Like sometimes back in the days of O&A, all the drops and stuff that I would pick for the instant replays, I was pulling them off the movies, and the majority of them I have. So I could just, you know, when I got home, just pop the movie in and isolate the audio for what I need to do with it. And it just makes it much easier, because it's the best quality you're going to get, and you can't trust the stuff that's online, because some people, you know, for bigger size stuff, decrease the format of the compression of a movie or audio and put it on there, and it's not as good as it could be had you had the original copy. So that's what I do. I keep all the original movies, and I think that answered his question.
Did you find Dutch yet?
No, I have not found Dutch, but
one of our Facebook
somebody did reach out to me and said they had a copy that they were willing to send me. So I haven't been down to the P.O. box for the show. I'll have to go. Maybe I'll go tomorrow, and because I haven't checked the mail there in a while, and I know there's a couple of packages and stuff there, so I'll go and check. Hopefully, maybe we got Dutch. Who knows?
Hopefully, it's food.
That'd be great.
I watched Sabrina, the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina's holiday special that came out on Netflix, and I have to say I was quite impressed with it, because it, you know, you see these holiday specials, they're usually something kind of hokey, and it's like Merry Christmas at the end. We all learned a very specific lesson.
Right.
And no, it immediately ties into the story where season 1 ended off, and it's a great segue into season 2, which is going to launch at the beginning of April. And Netflix announced that since the holiday special went so well, because it got just as many views and people watched it because they were very happy with season 1, that they've signed Sabrina Part 3 and 4 already. So we're going to get at least 4 seasons of Sabrina, and I'm very excited because I loved House of Cards, and I didn't watch the new season because it's just ruined for me. I don't like the direction it was going in because of how they had to deal with the whole Kevin Spacey thing. But once these shows started getting bigger, and now Netflix shows are getting bigger so quickly, you know, Sabrina came out for Halloween. You think, okay, I'm only going to get it once a year for Halloween. So the fact that we're getting season 2 so quickly, only 6 months apart, I'm very excited for it and pumped about it. And I'm hoping that this turnover can start to continue with their more popular shows.
I have not watched it, but it is on my list, and I'll probably do that during the holiday time to go in and watch it, because I've heard good things. Some people say it starts off good, gets slow, and then picks up, but
it's season 1 of any show. They have a lot of groundwork that they need to lay, but I was captured the whole time.
Well, I do want to see that. There was something else that showed up on Netflix. Oh, Voltron, the final season showed up. Have you seen the new reboot of Voltron?
I have not.
Season 8 is now available, and I'm already halfway through it. I watched a ton of it last night. It is so good. It's one of the rare things when you see a reboot, and it's actually better than the original. I really love the story. I really love the direction that they've taken it. I know Voltron was a little bit before your time, Trevor, but if you ever had any interest in it, I can't suggest enough to watch the new Voltron that is on Netflix. And it's 13 episodes a season, half-hour episodes mostly.
Oh, I can blow through that.
It's really good. The storytelling's great. The animation is insanely good.
I'll have to check. That goes on the list.
Check that out. Last thing before we get out of here for the holidays, Fortnite. This is a game that Trevor brought to our attention a long, long time ago, and got Giddles and I involved in it for a while. And I look, I'll admit, I've been out of it since, what are you, in Season 7 right now?
Season 7, yeah. And I've lacked on Season 7 100% because of Red Dead.
I fell out at the beginning of Season 6. I started in 4 and I fell out in Season 6. This is a big deal for those of you who may not know the game. At this point, it's up there. It's synonymous, you know, for kids playing video games like Minecraft. You know, it's that kind of big.
On the Game Awards, it won the best game of the year.
And it's the Battle Royale style that PUBG pretty much, brought to the forefront, and Fortnite made it famous. And now,
not a lot of people are playing the single-player mode at all.
Right, and now a lot of other games and other franchises have gone that way, doing the Battle Royale format because of what Fortnite has done for this particular style of gameplay. Well, within the game, you're fighting it out. You drop on a map and you search for treasure. You're searching for XP. You're trying to survive as time is running out. But there's little elements that you can add to the game, such as different weapons and outfits and skins and what have you. None of it which affect your ability to play the game. They don't increase your strength. They don't do anything. It's all just strictly cosmetic. But there's some things that you can earn where you, if you play a certain amount and you get a certain amount of experience, you can earn different items to use in the game, and you earn different
V-Bucks you can earn too to buy specific skins, all these microtransactions.
But you earn these things, they're dance moves.
Yeah, emotes.
They're emotes, if that's what they call them. What it is, it's just a way to kill time. Like if you took out a bunch of people or you had a really awesome kill, you can hit a button and your guy will do a certain dance if you earn that skill, or if you have won that skill or something like that. You can change your dances up. And it's also when you're in what they call the lobby, when you're waiting for people to join your party so that you have enough people so that you can go out and play the game together. You can kill time by hitting different buttons and doing different dance moves. Well, this got to be so popular. It's probably more popular than the game itself. The dance moves that all these kids know how to do now because of this one particular game.
Yeah, when the Jets are in a commercial break,
right?
The guy next to me will put up. We have a Fortnite cam, and we just find kids, and we'll put on like the floss, and they'll put the kid next to him, and the kid just starts going nuts doing the floss, and then they'll change to a different dance, so it's so big that they're using it in major sports.
Right, all these kids are doing these little goofy dances, and it's funny to watch when you see a kid do it. It's really sad when I saw that NFL commercial with, I don't know his name, we'll just call him Large Black Gentleman, starts doing one of the Fortnite dances in front of his racist. I don't know his name. Starts doing the dance in front of his two buddies there, and they're looking at him like, "What the hell are you doing?" Well, it got to the point where artists
Antonio
are now
Brown Pizza Hut.
Thank you. That's exactly who it was. It got to the point now where people who claim to have initiated these dances, created these dances, are now suing the creators of Fortnite for royalties or to remove the dance completely from the game because they feel that it wasn't they didn't get permission to do so. Now, I didn't know you could trademark or copyright a dance, but apparently it is the case that you can do that. If there's a unique dance that's specific to something that you created, you can actually copyright that dance.
I mean, have you heard of Gene Simmons? He copyrights everything that if he could possibly copyright.
I know. We made fun of him years ago on Opie and Anthony when he was trying to seriously trademark the money bag with a dollar sign. That's been used in cartoons since the 1920s when they started. He was trying to copyright that as his own.
The term OJ, when he was trying to do that, was the best thing, I think.
Oh, I forgot he was trying to do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, this whole thing starts, legal-wise, starts with a rap artist named 2 Milli, which is silly, and that rhymes. And I don't really know his music nor care to know any of his music, but he's suing it started with him suing Fortnite for using a dance he created with the song called Milli Rock without his permission or any kind of credit. And when he started that whole lawsuit, TMZ was all over it, but everybody started like, oh, this guy's just, nobody cares about this dude, and he's just being ridiculous, and everyone kind of laughed it off, right? Lawsuit number 2 comes around from Alfonso Ribeiro, Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That's where all of a sudden it started getting some attention.
Right. Now, also, if you know him from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, then of course. But he was also on a show in the 80s called Silver Spoons, where he was best friends with the Rickster, Ricky Schroeder.
And he's also got the Mirror Ball trophy because he won Dancing with the Stars and is the current host of America's Funniest Home Videos.
Oh, that is also true. But Alfonso Ribeiro was suing Fortnite for them lifting up what it's called the Carlton dance. And if you don't know what the Carlton dance is, you got to look it up. But whenever Tom Jones would play on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it became the gag. He would do this little, fruity dance.
Yeah, you can only dance a certain way.
Yeah, but everybody loved it. It became such a big ordeal. So he was suing. Then TMZ dug through their archives and found out in 2012, they have video of him saying that he stole the Carlton from Courtney Cox from her dance moves in Dancing in the Dark, Bruce Springsteen's video, and Eddie Murphy's White Man Dance from his Delirious special.
How did it originate? Was it just like one of your dances that you did when you were younger and you're like,
no,
I'm bringing it?
On The Fresh Prince, they basically had a script where it said, Carlton dances, and I went, all right, well, how would Carlton dance? And I said, you know what? I know exactly. I'm going to steal it. I stole it from Courtney Cox and Eddie Murphy.
Okay. Is that a combination of both of those?
It's a combo of all of that with a little bit of me mixed in.
Is that actually how you
did
dance?
The Dancing in the Dark video.
Which
Bruce
one?
Springsteen.
Oh, yeah.
When he brought Courtney Cox up on stage, she did that dance, and then it was Eddie Murphy's White Man Dance in his Delirious video. So, when I was sitting there going, what dance would I do? I went, I know what it is. I'm going to do the White Man Dance. I'll be the black man doing the white man. Come on, let's get it on.
He says in the video he stole the dance moves.
He stole two concepts and put them together, yeah.
Now, this looks like this holds no merit for his lawsuit because he admitted that he stole it from two other people. So that came to the surface. Now, also, the Backpack Kid.
Of course, he's got to jump on, too.
I don't know who this kid is until he showed up with Katy Perry on Saturday Night Live, and he does this dance called the floss, or flossing, if you will. Apparently, he says he created this dance, and he's suing Fortnite as well for using the floss dance, as they dub it flossing on the game. But now there's speculation that he may have lifted it from something else. So that's 3 lawsuits against Fortnite going on right now, and 2 of them being pretty sketchy.
Yeah, so I got to give it up to Epic Games because they said from the beginning, too, like the Carlton only came out for a limited amount of time and you had to buy it, or if you could earn enough V-Bucks to trade them in and get it.
Right.
The floss is something that was an achievement. And listen, Fortnite, let's just talk about everything.
2K Sports, by the way, who owns Fortnite. No, sorry, not 2K4.
It's
Epic.
It's Epic Games, yeah. So
I'm reading ahead in the article. Sorry, go ahead.
So Epic, I have to say, is probably really on the ball 24/7 with everything they do with Fortnite. Now, I say that because all these games rushed out their games. Call of Duty, Battlefield, they all rushed out their next edition so it would have a Battle Royale format and try to, Call of Duty especially, try to be PUBG but better and try to cash in on all this. Now, Fortnite saw that coming, and they have constantly added new things to the game. They haven't given up and have always been one step ahead of all these other video games, and that's why Fortnite is still making billions of dollars hand over fist over these other video games that were rushed out, are now terrible, and they're not what anyone expected them to be. With that, though, Fortnite has always had to be, again, one step ahead, but they've always been trying to take their game and relate it to pop culture in any way possible. So it's more of an homage to these guys, the Carlton dance, the floss. These guys were major pop culture influences, and yeah, they really haven't hit it that's what these dances are. They've changed the names so they couldn't get sued. Like if they called it the Carlton dance, whoever put on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
they would own it. Yeah, not Alfonso Ribeiro.
And they would be suing them before it. So they've changed it. It's kind of like when bands do covers and we can play them on live streams because they're not major, bands covering it. Like we're not going to get sued from them. It's always kind of like little loopholes that they find for not getting sued. So they've thought about this. It's well planned ahead. And you know what? They should really, these people should kind of, I feel like, be like, wow, I made that big of an impact on pop culture that Fortnite stole it from me, and they're using it. And people all know where it comes from. They know the floss came from the Backpack. They know the Carlton dance. No one calls it by whatever a Fortnite calls it. They call it the Carlton dance.
Well, and
if anything, it should help them out. The Backpack Kid I have a problem with because Epic has done nothing but support that kid. When they do charity streams, they ask him, like charity celebrity tournaments, or when they had the big Fortnite tournament for the first time ever, which was the Pro-Am, they had the Backpack Kid on there, and they've supported the kid. Now the kid's coming out and suing Epic, so I think it's all a bunch of bull, and it's just cash in on some money. I mean, no one knows who True Millie is except for that one dance that he does, and because he hasn't put anything else on top of that, he's just trying to cash in and make a name for himself. This is just him putting his name in the headlines. He's not going to get any money from it, or if anything, they're going to settle it for something very little just so it goes away. And again, this is Alfonso Ribeiro just trying to jump in because now his name's in the headlines again. Yeah. Same thing with the Backpack Kid because he ain't doing shit either.
Well, there's more. There's more than just these three now.
Okay, who's next? Who else is a celebrity that wants their name out there?
Well, there's another artist, a hip-hop artist, called Blockboy JB. I'm just letting that sit there because you're trying to think, I don't know who this person is either.
I'm sure he has a giant following on social zone. Great, but he's trying to become a national name now.
Well, anyway, so he hasn't filed a lawsuit yet, but he's sort of threatening it because he tweeted out that he would like to receive royalties from the game that stole his signature dance from his song called Shoot, which Fortnite fans recognize in the game as the hype dance emote.
Yeah, I've seen that guy. Yeah, he's so cool.
So he's saying that's his dance, and they need to either pay him or remove it from the game. Also, actor Donald Faison, you know him from Scrubs. And you know him from Clueless, said that Epic took his dance, the Poison Dance from Scrubs, to make it as a default victory dance in Fortnite. And it's also, in the article here, says it's also worth pointing out that it's not just about Fortnite. According to TMZ, despite the people who are threatening to or filing lawsuits, there's a second set of lawsuits being filed against 2K Sports for their NBA 2K basketball game series. Apparently, they're using dances in those games as well. So it got everything kicked off with Fortnite, but they're going through all these games now that do dances that are similar to anything, and it's just people being greedy and saying,
pay me.
Yeah, pay me for this stuff. How dare you use it? Where before, like the Backpack Kid, it was just an honor. It's like, it's pretty cool that they're using it in their game.
It's keeping him relevant.
Yeah, now it's like, now you got to pay me for this.
Hear his rap songs?
Epic may try to claim that the dances are not distinctive enough to be worthy of copyright protection. And this brings up when I said I didn't know you could copyright a dance. It is possible to copyright dance choreography, but the U.S. Copyright Office specifically states that commonplace movement and gestures cannot be copywritten. This includes specific dances like YMCA, because it's just people making shapes with their arms. According to a legal expert who spoke to Variety magazine, Epic may also claim that dances in Fortnite are a part of a larger procedure that goes beyond just doing the dance. I can't believe that this is where we're at. This is where we are. Actually, you're wrong. I take it back. I can believe that this is where we're at.
Yeah. If I had a dance I wound up in Fortnite, I'd jump on board on this just so I can get $100. But still, I'm not going to say it's not dumb. It's like just like someone trying to do the swim, like from back in the day, or doing the lawnmower, or who did the dab? Who dabbed first? Because they have an infinite dab emote.
That was a football player, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, there was some football player who created the dab.
Great, and so Randy Moss should get paid for doing when he mooned the crowd one time. But whoever ever invented the moon,
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton dabbed?
Cam Newton.
Fuck off.
Yep.
Who cares?
Wait a minute. Back in October. No, maybe I'm wrong here.
So
because it says back in October, Cam Newton sparked a nationwide dance craze by hitting the dab to celebrate first downs and touchdowns. Though the dance was created by rap group Migos, and first introduced to the NFL by Bengals running back Jeremy Hill, Newton is widely credited for making the dance popular.
Yeah, because he scored more touchdowns than Jeremy Hill. Jeremy Hill's all right. He's on the Bengals.
Yeah, well, that's the history of that.
So as soon as you see, then they're going to take those out, and then they'll put something else in, like the ripping of the chest, like Superman, like ripping the clothes off, and then I almost said Keanu Reeves.
Right.
The other guy, Christopher Reeves, is going to come up.
I was going to say Alex Winter, but I would have been wrong.
We're all wrong. Dean Cain?
Possible.
We'll go with Dean Cain for Superman now. Who's the best living Superman? Go.
The one that's on Supergirl right now. We had him on the show a couple of years ago. Tyler Tyler Hoechlin.
Okay, well that answers that question.
He's on Supergirl right now as an occasional cameo, the crossover within the Arrow universe of DC stuff on the CW. He's actually a really good Superman.
I can't wait. This is where these lawsuits are going right now. Okay, Halo 2, Halo 1, Halo 3, whatever. What was the most popular thing you did back in the day when playing Halo? You killed a guy, you ran up, you teabagged him. That's where the teabag started in my mind. So I can't wait to see the guy who's going to come forward and go, I invented the teabag, pay me.
Okay.
Bethesda or whoever does Halo.
That's so stupid.
That's the next thing, though, because if these people get money for I invented the floss, I did that. Well, I invented the teabag, and Halo's been doing that for years, and everyone teabags. So when they Call of Duty or whatever, all you people need to pay me for teabagging.
I was just letting that go so people could isolate that and use it on their own. I'll have to send that to one Mr. Shannon.
He doesn't know what a teabag is.
No, it doesn't matter. I'll explain in the text, as I said, and you may want to use this audio as a drop.
Oh, what's that music?
Yes, I was just going to say that with that music. It's time to get out of here. Let's go around and do the plugs, Tyler. Trevor. Trevor, what do you have? Oh, I'm tired.
My name is Trevor, and I'm BTG Trevor on Twitter, and also at Podcast Dummies on all social media platforms. YouTube at Podcast Dummies. We are officially a Twitch affiliate. Thank you so much, everyone who listens, anyone who's ever donated. Hey, have you heard of Twitch Prime, Giddles? Oh, I forgot he's not here. Twitch Prime is just like Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you get Twitch Prime for free, and you can use your one free subscription a month to subscribe to Podcast Dummies. And if you don't like Podcast Dummies, subscribe to Geek Stuff OG. We are doing a whole bunch of cool stuff. 2019 is going to be huge. Thank you again so much at Podcast Dummies across all social media platforms, twitch.tv/Podcast Dummies. Also, if anyone needs Wonderwall guitar lessons, I'm doing them.
No, that's not a thing. For me, it's IHeartRadio across the board, but more importantly, the show, it's Erik Nagel across the board on social media. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. We got some things that we're working on for 2019, video elements. Patreon, I think, is going to be coming our way. 651-SMITHERS is the phone number, 651-764-8437. If you want to call and leave a message for the show, it could be used on the next episode of It's Erik Nagel. I think that is about it. Till the next time, everybody,
be excellent to each other.
And we'll be seeing you.
It's Erik Nagel.
Merry Christmas! Dinner was full!
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Erik Nagel on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. For ways to listen to the show, go to itseriknagel.com. And remember to tell two friends so they can tell two friends.
And they can tell two friends. And they can tell two
and
friends.
And those two friends can tell two more friends. Well,